Welcome back to the 5-7 podcast. I'm your host, Mike Pre, and today I'm going to be talking about smoking weed, and I'm going to be talking about, for my tech tip, on what to do if you feel like one of your accounts is hacked. Now, I want to apologize for my voice. I'm a little sick, so it is what it is. It's that time of year. Of course, I get a little something right before the holidays, just as long as it's not happening during the holidays. As of January 1st, you can recreationally smoke marijuana in Illinois. It's something that's been a long time coming, and I have an article here from the Chicago Tribune. Once marijuana is legalized on January 1st, Chicago residents will be able to smoke legal cannabis in their balconies or backyards without being ticketed. Mayor Lori Lightfoot and interim police superintendent Charlie Beck announced Thursday. While the state law prohibits cannabis consumption in a public place, which is defined as anywhere you can be observed by others in the public, the Chicago Police Department recognizes that an individual using cannabis in their own backyard or balcony poses no direct threat to public safety, and no resident should be arrested or ticketed solely for such a scenario. Lightfoot and Beck said in a joint statement, any characterization to this is contrary and simply wrong. Illinois lawmakers voted earlier this year to legalize recreational use of marijuana with the new year. That's led the city to make changes on how the city will address cannabis. Last month, the city council approved Lightfoot's plan to reduce penalties and fines for people caught carrying pot in their car or using it in public in Chicago. While at-home cannabis use will be legal beginning next year, it will still be against the law to use it in public or in a motor vehicle. It's off limits for people under 21 and can't be used or carried near a school building, public park, daycare facility, or near any correctional facilities. Under the mayor's proposal, people caught in the off-limit spaces in Chicago with less than 30 grams of marijuana would be issued a $50 ticket for the first offense, which is less than a red light ticket violation. If someone is caught improperly carrying marijuana a second time within 30 days, the fine will double to $100. Currently, people accused of illegal pot possession in Chicago face fines of up to $500 and could have their vehicles impounded if it's found in their car. The ordinance also prevents cars from being impounded if there's a small amount inside. But any vehicle used in connection with the unlawful purchase or unlawful attempt to purchase or unlawful attempt to sell cannabis may be subject to seizure and impoundment, according to the proposal. 30 grams of marijuana is about an ounce, which is essentially enough pot for 60 joints or spliffs and about half as many blunts, depending on how much is rolled into the tobacco paper. The city's ordinance mirrors the state law, except it has a provision that stops the police from seizing the cars of residents caught smoking in them unless they are caught with more than 30 grams of the substance. Police can still search vehicles and take possession of them for investigations, but the owners won't face the same stiff fines and penalties they once did simply for having some cannabis. Minors caught with marijuana could be fined, required to do community service, or participate in an educational program under the measure. Starting in January, there will be 7 zones across the city where marijuana will be sold legally. Each zone will be capped at having only 7 dispensaries, but that number eventually will increase. How the city handles marijuana has come under fire recently from black aldermen who argue it isn't equitable. Black aldermen on Wednesday said white dispensary operators will get too big of a head start on the lucrative business and argued broad legalization should be stalled until mid-year. Now, I read another article that stated that people that have been victim of the war on the war on drugs, that they will have their licenses will be expedited to them, and they'll have options that, say, other white owners won't have. So I think that should kind of even out the stakes there. Also, just because you could smoke marijuana legally does not mean that where you work, your business, that it would be accepted there. So if you are living in Illinois and you're really excited for this, you need to check into how this will be accepted into your place of business, and if they will allow you to smoke marijuana. So that needs to be taken into consideration. Also, yesterday, the MLB has announced that they are that marijuana is off of their banned substance list, but opioids and cocaine still is, and they're going to be testing for that. So that's something else to take into consideration. I wonder when the NFL is going to lax on their marijuana stance, because that has been a big thing in what's his name? There's a football player. He has had multiple marijuana violations. I can't think of the guy's name right now, but he played for the Cleveland Browns, and year after year, he had these marijuana violations, and it turned out that he was using marijuana to help with his anxiety. And but it was illegal at the time, so I guess these the fines that he faced, you can't really retroactively pay him back his money. So and that's really a funny thing, because a lot of places, a lot of people are getting retroactively having their sentences taken off of their records for marijuana use, and I wonder how that could work in professional sports. Anyways, that's I guess a conversation for another time. How it applies with the law, and how people have been held accountable in the past, and then now that it's legal, you're taking away that accountability from the past. So I don't know how that's going to work out, but we'll see. My tech tip for today is about in case you have felt that one of your accounts has been hacked, say your email or like a shopping account or what have you. The first thing that you want to do is go to the website on where you think that your account was hacked and change the password, because if your account was hacked, more than likely they have your password. And if it has, they might have changed it to something that they want it to be. So if you go to the website and change your password, that will negate the fact that your password has been changed by somebody malicious and looking to do something nefarious to your account, maybe trying to buy items under your name or what have you, and have them sent to them or something like that. But that is what you want to do. In anything. I had a user come up to me this week that had they felt that their Apple ID was hacked, and they wanted to delete it. And I told them that deleting their Apple ID was a bad idea, because they'd lose all of their iCloud information, everything that they have on there. But if they were to just reset their password, that it could it indicates the fact that somebody had acquired their information. And it turns out that they weren't hacked. They were just really, really, I guess, paranoid, you could say. But they changed their password, and they felt better about it afterwards. And I'm not taking any liability. I want to put that out there. Any liability for somebody who feels that they've been hacked or whatever. This is just something that I would do. If I were you and you feel that you've been hacked, just reset your passwords, and you should be good. If you have any accounts that have long-standing passwords, so say you've had your Amazon account has had the same password for 5 years, change that. I think it's a good rule of thumb to change your password every 6 months. If you're not doing that, maybe it's something that you could do. The bare minimum at the first of the year, change your passwords to everything on everything, just so that you have a clean slate, and make sure nobody has any of your information. So that's my tech tip for today. Happy holidays, guys. We've got another week until Christmas is in almost a week and a half. So get your shopping done. Be careful out there. It's a high stressful time. A lot of people are stressed during the holidays. So be careful whose buttons you push. If there's any road rage, just let it go. It's the holidays. It's time to be jolly. All right. This is Pre out.